All right. Hello and welcome to Mr. Charewicz, who is running for mayor in the April 6th, 2021 consolidated election. Thank you so much for participating in this candidate interview.
Oh, of course. Thank you for the opportunity to get my word out. This is fantastic. Thank you.
So I'm going to be asking a variety of questions which were developed in collaboration between the Maine Westerner Student Newspaper and Pi Sigma Pi Social Science Honor Society. You will have 2 minutes to share your answer to each one. And when the 2 minutes have passed, I ask that you only take a few seconds to finish up your thought so that we can move on to the next question. All right. So let's just start with the first question. We would like to know, if you had 2 minutes to address the people of Des Plaines, what would you say?
First thing I'd like to say is I would be honored to serve as your mayor. I think it's important to focus on three main words in that sentence. Honored, meaning I must always show respect for the office and residents, especially when making tough decisions and even with those who might not disagree with me or might not agree with me. Serving, I will be available and accessible to all residents. My view of the mayor's office is being a leader, working with our council members to bring ideas together as a team, not just dictating my ideas and your. I think that meaning is important, that it is important to listen to both sides of an issue, find a compromise or a balanced solution, not just a right or wrong.
All right, thank you for your answer. So for our second question, we're wondering, how do you plan on managing the spread of COVID-19 in our community? What are your priorities?
I think working with council to get as much expertise advice as possible, find what our options are, and what kind of assistance is available. Then we can decide the best option for our residents. I envision this as being a multi-level plan. One thing I think we need to work on immediately is to find better communication of where to find vaccines in our area. There seems to be a lot of confusion on where to get vaccinated, making multiple calls, even going to other suburbs. I think it would be great for our residents if we could coordinate our efforts in our local area.
All right, thank you for your answer. So for our third question, how do you plan to improve infrastructure, keeping in mind issues such as flooding, rundown areas, sustainability, and climate change?
I believe it's important to keep the momentum that we have built for the last 10 years. We have been able to complete many important projects in the city. Raising River Road with increased sewer capacity that is relieving river flooding. We also in Des Plaines, we have sewer backup flooding away from the river. I'm proud to have supported a sanitary sewer in the 8th Ward that has relieved flooding not only in the 4th, but also the 8th Ward. As far as sustainability goes, I'd like the city to look into the feasibility of maybe our engineering or even our inspection departments to using electric cars. As these cars become more affordable and reliable, I think they'd be a perfect fit for that application.
All right, thank you. So, what is something you want to see added or changed in the downtown area in order to provide recreational activities and promote local businesses?
Well, I think the short answer is theater. I did support the city's efforts to using casino funds to buy and renovate the theater and to hire Ron Anesio to manage it for us. We were about a year behind schedule simply because of COVID, but I believe that this will be the cornerstone to rebuilding our downtown area. We should also encourage tourism. We must look at this as a tourist attraction also, encouraging more than just Des Plaines residents to come enjoy this area. I think we have done a good job of expanding our media department with Will, Maureen, and recently joined by Jenny. They would be a perfect fit to help the city get the word out about current events that are happening downtown. As past president of the Chamber of Commerce, I can see using the Chamber's expertise to help promote current and new businesses that come to town.
All right, thank you very much. For our next question, we're wondering, if elected, how do you plan to build an equitable relationship with the community and the schools in our city while making your presence known?
I do feel this is one of my strong points. As an active business owner in Des Plaines for many years, I have a head start over any of my competitors in this area. Through multiple chamber and community events, I have a working relationship with both the Plains and Mount Prospect Park districts, District 62 and with their board members, Maine West teachers, the library, two of our veterans groups, Center of Concern, Maine and Elk Grove Township boards. I also have served again as a board member on the Chamber of Commerce. I'm serving as a History Center board member and a member of the Isaac Walton League. And I would continue to grow these relationships as mayor.
Thank you very much. So for our next question, what do you plan on doing with the city's budget within your term, and what areas of the budget would you prioritize?
Well, while serving as alderman, I was finance director for 2 years. I had a very good working relationship with our finance director, Dorothy Winooski, and would continue to follow her advice in leading the city through what is sure to be a very difficult time. As a business owner for 40 years, I am experienced with dealing with financial crisis. The city is fairly well prepared for this. We have been paying down our debt for the last 10 years while building up our reserves. Our priorities now should be on keeping our key personnel, keeping city services consistent, and putting off a few optional projects until later when we can pay for them.
Thank you for your answer. So for our next question, we're wondering, how do you plan to expand and promote education in Des Plaines, particularly education about our city's history and culture?
Well, I feel being on the History Center board and working with Philip Moore as our executive director gives me expertise and insight into expanding the programs. I would also like to see additional funding from the city to the History Center when the time is right. But currently our programs are fantastic. Philip has spoken at numerous community events, even a couple of my past ward meetings. We just need to do a better job of getting what the History Center is doing currently out into the public. And again, I think by using our media department, as I mentioned before, that would be a perfect application for that too.
Thank you. How will you use your platform as mayor to promote equity?
I'm not sure that I understand the question. Is it equity or equality?
Equity.
Okay. Well, I thought it was equality was the question I was being asked. I guess I'm not prepared for an answer of equity. Could you explain what equity means, maybe? Because that's kind of equity. I thought was like a financial term.
So I think in this context, it's more talking about the quality of being fair and impartial.
Okay. I think then the answer I had was I believe it translates in and understanding the concerns of the diverse community. I think it's important as mayor. I will be available and accessible to all Des Plaines residents by expanding communications. I plan to bring back an open door policy to the mayor's office with phone calls and emails being returned by myself.
All right, thank you very much for your answer. Sorry about the confusion there.
No, I think it was the same. I just wanted to be sure I got it right. Thank
All
you.
right. So for our next question, police brutality has become a national issue and a significant concern to many Americans, including police officers. What steps will you take to train Des Plaines police officers so that this problem is addressed on a local level?
I can relate to this question. Being in the automotive industry, we are sometimes looked at like pirates, crooks, and thieves. Yet there are a lot of really good auto guys out there. I think that's the same with the police officers. While the nightly news as of late has exposed a lot of bad ones, there are still an awful lot of good, hardworking officers that continue to serve and protect with respect every day. I believe one way to combat poor behavior is simply to praise the good behavior, like what we're doing with our police officers and firemen being awarded at our city council meetings. I also would encourage the use of body cameras as much as possible. I know we have quite a few, which I think kind of gives a better, both sides, a better understanding of what happens in a particular event. I also would rely on the expertise of the police chief, to guide our city through any event that would arise and work with us for any reoccurring training that's necessary.
Thank you very much. So for our next question, let's say you do get elected. When your term is up, how do you envision you will have helped better Des Plaines?
Well, I would hope same as I did as alderman, increase city communication with community events, with community groups, as I had mentioned, such as the Chamber of Commerce, History Center, again, the veterans groups, food pantry, Center of Concern. And again, I said I already have relationships that are with each of these community events. I also think we need to see economic growth continue in the city. We have veterans coming into town, which is a $350 million investment with about 500 new jobs that was coming to the old Salvation Army area. We have a new data center coming to Tui, and we even kept Hart, Shafter, and Marks in Des Plaines, just to name a few of the economic development that we have. I think new business and business developers look for consistency in local government when they're looking to invest millions of dollars in a project. I think having Mike Bartholomew as our city manager for the past 8 years, has certainly helped that. And I think we need to continue to keep that consistency.
Thank you very much. And so for our final question, we're wondering if there's anything else you would like voters to know.
Well, circling back again to my opening comments, given the opportunity, I would be proud to serve as your mayor. Just like as alderman, I want to give back to the community that has given me so much. 40 years in a local business, 3 grown children, living in a safe, secure home where crime is low, taxes are reasonable, making wonderful friends, where the neighbors are friendly and willing to help each other, even snow blowing each other's sidewalks occasionally, and having a sense of community and pride. I hope I can earn your vote on April 6th.
All right, thank you very much. So that concludes our interview questions. If voters would like more info about your platform or your plans, what would be the best way to find out some more details?
Best way, email would be info at my last name, Charewicz.com, or going to the website, which is www.charewicz.com.
Great. Thank you again for your participation in this interview and your interest in serving our community.